All right, it's now time for Business in the 217, a time for us to take a look at what's going on in and around the Springfield business community. And to do just that, we're joined by Michelle Ownbey, publisher of the Springfield Business Journal. Michelle, let's get right on into it. Something that a lot of people enjoy at the Old Capitol Farmers Markets is actually going to get its own store. So what's going on? Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Greg. A couple news items this week involving downtown businesses that are evolving, which is nice to see. And I chatted with Allie Donaldson yesterday. As you mentioned, she's the owner of Golden Hour Bakehouse, which is already a familiar name to anyone that's been to the farmers market. She's always got her table with all kinds of baked goods and specializes in gluten-free and vegan items, which are very popular as well. And she says that she now has a brick and mortar location in the works. She says she's going to sign the lease in the next 30 days or so. So she's not ready to announce the exact location just yet, but said it will be downtown. She was committed to being in that area because of her connection with the farmers market. And she's launched a Kickstarter campaign. And, I think this is something we're probably going to see more and more of. The Wakery did this quite successfully before their opening. I think Whimsy Tea has one in the works right now. They're trying to expand into offering food items as well as beverages, and now Golden Hour Bakehouse. So she's hoping that this Kickstarter will kind of give her a boost for the equipment and the physical presence that she needs. But she says ideally she'd like to be open by January of next year.
Gotta love a place to get some baked goods, no question, especially if it's going to include all kinds of food sensibilities. So looking forward to that. But, when I go out with my wife, I love being able to go to a nice place where we can have a good atmosphere, wonderful service. Do I consider it upscale? Sure, why not? But apparently we're going to have another option there, right?
Yes, and this is right up my alley. Twisted Fork is a concept the owners describe as upscale diner food. So think, your horseshoes, your meatloaf, fried chicken, that kind of stuff, but with a little twist. Amanda and Jared Sadner actually started their business back in 2021. This is kind of interesting. They won a mac and cheese competition out at George Ranks. That's sort of their signature dish. And they said they'll include 6 or 7 different varieties of their famous mac and cheese on their menu, but they are also making the transition to a brick and mortar location. They had been cooking at George Ranks since COVID. That kitchen never reopened after COVID, so they were kind of doing pop-up events and things out there. And then they purchased a food truck and started renovating that. But then in the meantime, they heard about the vacant space at Nuvo, which closed last year. And of course, that's in the historic building. They're the St. Nicholas Apartments on Jefferson, right downtown. They said the space was perfect as far as the vibe. They're keeping the blue bar because they know that was popular with a lot of folks. So they said they're really not making a lot of changes. The decor already kind of fit what they were going for, and they are hoping to be open by the end of September. So always good to have new dining options, especially downtown.
No question. Talking with Michelle Ownbey, publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, with Business in the 217. We'll tell people how they can get their hands on the latest edition of the Springfield Business Journal. But those of you out there looking for a job, of course, you can scroll around online and see who's hiring, or you can show up physically where the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce has a job fair on the way. Tell us about it.
Yes, and I will mention, even if you are an employer looking to hire, I think they are still accepting applications from employers that want to reserve a booth. But Tuesday, August 29th, of course, the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce does a couple job fairs every year, one in the spring, one in the fall. We know that staffing is a huge issue. And as always, there's going to be a variety of positions. So not just full-time, but part-time, seasonal. This is the time when a lot of businesses ramp up hiring for the holidays and special events and everything that goes along with that. So Tuesday, August 29th from 4 to 6 out at the Crown Plaza. Put that date on your calendar. If you're an employer, you may want to reach out to the chamber and see what it would take to have a presence there.
So make it happen with the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce coming up August 29th at the Crown Plaza. Michelle, people who need to get a copy of the Springfield Business Journal, how can they do that?
Well, you can get online at springfieldbusinessjournal.com and sign up for our newsletter. BizBites comes out every Wednesday afternoon, and it's free of charge, roundup of what's going on in the local business community. And of course, you can also sign up for the print edition, and for just $35 a year, get that delivered directly to your home or office.
All right, so make it happen. Greatly appreciate your time as always. Publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, Michelle Ownbey. Be safe out there, okay?
All right. Thanks, Greg.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.